Everyone, I'm going to try to sort out some laundry that I've piled up on me. And it wrinkled again. Oh my goodness, I've already tumbled these clothes like twice. But anyway, I did do a video that I really want to put out. And after I made it, I was speaking of working out your own salvation with trembling and fear. And I'm going to... After I made it, I thought of some other things, and I want to splice this together, another part that I made, but I might just do it all over, I don't know, or just post that one part, but right now I just want to answer, because Barbara had asked about the Urantia book, if anyone had heard of it, and I guess it was like a year into, and it's been a while since, I kind of recall some of it, but it was like a year into or something, into my revelation, and I don't know how it was introduced originally, and actually on my other email, I think I get daily things from it, but I never go to that email. They do a daily, and much truth is in, there's much truth, but like I said, I haven't looked at it, in years now. When it was when I first started getting on YouTube, after it was about the first year that I started getting on YouTube, looking for, others who might be having the same thing going on with them, and one of the ones was one of the first, you had little confirmation here or there, because that's just it. We are, each of us are full of the world, and that's the whole point. It's overcoming what the world has put into us. And so even though we hear, now we understand 4 years later, I see the work. I understand what's happened with us and what is happening. But, at that point, it's always hard to explain from where you are now to what you was thinking 3 years ago. But, just like with Kurt, one of the ones, and, others, that's... I understand now that, I had to turn everyone off because they were speaking things that I didn't understand, and it wasn't doing me any good getting all this other information, or, so, I ended up turning, Kurt off, and, everyone, and, and every now and then I'd go back, but it would always cause troubles in me, because, this one would be speaking some things I've received, and then some things I, off. And see, so many still, because so many didn't wait on the purging, they just, some maybe was receiving things that I wasn't ready for, but then there was others that was just going off on their own, thinking themselves to have it all figured out in teaching these things, and it was really just their own indoctrination. But I'm not doing real good at doing this at the same time, am I? Trying to keep all that underwear. It's all Steve's underwear. No one wants to be checking out his tidy whities. But my mother just asked me about a week ago, and I'm the one that told her about it, when I first had heard of the Urantia book. And when I looked into it, and there was so much that just made sense, and there was confirmations, but it was the things and I didn't want nothing else coming. I thought, I don't need this right now, so I let the Spirit continue the work just with what I already had. And but it speaks of and I didn't study into it long, Like I said, I didn't want anything else. And now I understand. Now I would be able to look and see, what more I could find, and, But, it speaks of, and I didn't study into it all, I just know it speaks a little of how the creation began and was brung here, and I guess brung and watched us evolve. And these are the, that life was put here, and I just know it, but it was a process of evolution is what it's saying. So, as far as I gather from the little that I did. But there was much truth in it, but that's the part that I didn't, I'm unsure about it. I don't even like speaking on things I'm unsure of, because you don't judge a thing until you've heard the whole matter. Until I was, even right now, like now, 3 years later, from that point, I would be better to go on and look into it, and, because I know there was truth in the book, and many things made sense, and that's, in any book, in any writing, I will bear witness to what part is true, or that I can, that I myself have come to understand or see, but I don't know. That's not answered to me yet. I cannot say one way or another, what this book is, but now that you ask, and my mother asked a week ago, or Barbara asked, and so I think that this is going to be coming up frequently, so, I haven't made no judgment against it or for it. I just know that there's things in it that make sense, but I haven't, because the thing is, man, when you know that what the story that man has, been listening to, I mean, how long and how many out there still think Eve ate an apple? And there is people who literally think there was an apple and a talking snake. So, it's truth is in the eye of the beholder. So, there was truth in the Urantia book, but I haven't heard the whole book. I don't, I mean, and it tells you, I guess it describes that there's always been guardians or something. It even tells you there's just certain things that I'd have to go back and look at it, but I'm very unsure about Urantia, because there's things that was true, and then there's things that just, but until I understand, I don't understand all, and so I don't, that's why I kind of put it off. Like I said, I just let, with what I had, with what I knew, let that be worked in me. And it could be after, and I'll continue to let the work be finished in me, but those who have the work done in them and are strengthened. I mean, I would then I wasn't ready to discern many things. Now I could go back and look and see what these things say, and more, know what's out of place. So I don't know. Did any of that make sense? Because there's much that we have never heard, and so I can't say. I can say I'm going to look into it, and they like those daily things. I've seen a couple that comes when I that's my business email that I get stuff in the mail too at the store, so I don't really look in that email too much because I also get paper mail. But every now and then I'll go in there and I'll see a daily inspirational message or whatever, and there's a lot of right things spoken, but I'm unsure of the things that I'm unsure of. So anyway, and I'll post this, and hopefully I might post the other one and just add to it later, because it, but much more came after I actually made the video. The more you see, the more understanding and surety, and soundness. This is the work of salvation. So don't fret over things you don't understand. Don't, let the work be done in you. And when it comes to just adding more knowledge that you're unsure of, you already have enough going on. So I don't know. I hope something made sense there. I'm unsure. Many blessings to you. Hello everyone. I just made a video. Barbara had asked of the Urantia book, and I just want to add a little bit more. Although it's been a long time since I've since I've even looked into any of it. It was when, like I said in my video, that was like a year into my revelation, and it tells you, it more goes with a lot of the experience, the spiritual experience that myself and others are having, even it just, I don't know for sure. I haven't looked into it. If I knew when the Spirit was done the work in me, that if, I would be, the truth would lead me. But now this is coming up, so, because I wondered how long, I knew it would take on, that Urantia would come up more. And, I don't have a final answer on that. I haven't looked into it in 3 years, but I wanted to explain a little more than I did in this beginning of this video, because it seems like it's the angels, and I don't understand I didn't read a lot into it, just what I gather and what I can recollect. And it's that Jesus was the bestowment on Urantia, which is Earth. If I'm not mistaken, Urantia is Earth, or the galaxy. I think Urantia is the Earth. And there is I saw a word, and when I was studying Greek, it seems like it reminded me. I have to look. I don't even want to say that because it just was recently, but it started U-R-A-N, and I can't remember what it was, but and it was just not long ago, and it took my mind to the Urantia book. But it's like the creation. I don't know if there was supposed to be creation here before, but that shows that the angels, they call it the bestowal of Michael, and he came as Jesus, and I don't want to, the parts I don't want to, is I don't know for sure because I'm just recollecting, but they watch, the angels have watched the creation, and of certain species, I think species that we don't even have now, are our original ancestors or something, and it's like, it's telling the story of how the angels have watched them, and it tells of how when they first learned fire, when they first started learning how to, these ancestors of ours, when they first learned how to make houses, and when they first showed love, it talks about when they first showed, what was it? Gosh, it's been so long. And I don't know if they helped at one point, if there was an aid. That might be where I think there was a movie where it showed the alien standing there and he was naked or something, and it shows something with the water. I don't know. I just remember seeing previews to a movie, and it was supposed to be how aliens had. I don't know. I don't like speaking on things I don't know. But anyway, but it tells how, you know, they're just watching, and at one point, I think they might have assisted the, you know, the growth of the evolution. And it takes you, and I remember there's a part where it takes you through Jesus' life and these are the things because of what I see in spirit, but there's I'd have to look back again to see from, you know, where my mind was then. Maybe, you know, I wasn't seeing something right because I was not, you know, I'd have to go now with my understanding now, straight to certain parts that, and see why, because if it doesn't go with what's happened right here, then no. Because I know, you know, there's certain things that are certain. There are certain things concerning Christ that are certain. But, you know, I'm saying then maybe if my mind, because I didn't understand these things yet, maybe I didn't read the Urantia right. So I'd have to go back again. But is there anything else I can... It was an interesting, you know, read. And a lot of it made sense, and you're thinking, wow, is this, you know, but I can't say. It's just the, and it talks about what happens when you die, and how you're transported, or you have carriers or something. I'm not, so right now, without looking to see if my own self just wasn't seeing something right, I'd have to say there's truth in it, and some of it makes sense, and I have heard there's truth spoken in it, but I don't. I'd have to go and look into this and see, you know, but then again, you know, and that all that fullness I didn't have. When I first was introduced to Urantia, I only saw this, and I was just, you know, this much of the picture, and so that's why it was way out here. If it was truth, I hadn't seen all this yet, but now, you know, I'm seeing this. And it could be that I just haven't seen this yet, you know, so I hope that made sense. But I don't, you know, for one to go that don't have the work finished in them to look in, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I hope something made sense. Many blessings to you.